That thing's going and it doesn't stop at half an hour.
No.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new series. This is the Creator Series.
This video is brought to you by Eureka Hub, the co-working space of choice for tech startups and creatives in Toronto. With dedicated desks, private meeting rooms, events, and access to Eureka's wider network, Eureka Hub has all the resources that your business needs. See for yourself at eurekahub.com.
Welcome back to the Creator Series, everybody. I'm Jared Poirier, the founder of Galaxy Design, and I am here with an excellent guest.
Michael Costa, photographer based out of Mississauga, Ontario.
Right on, photographer extraordinaire. And Michael, I really appreciate you being on the show today. I've seen some of your photography stuff on Instagram, and it's actually sweet to be able to see your whole development throughout your career. The way that I actually found you was you were a guest on a friend of mine, Jamie's podcast, right?
Yep.
And how was that experience?
It was good. It was, my first podcasting experience, and it was a little nerving. I think it was me prepping for this one.
Right on. And how do you feel on this one so far?
I feel a little better.
Yeah. Right on. That's good. Practice makes perfect. So I really enjoyed Michael's conversation with Jamie on that episode, and I appreciate you coming on the show today. The point of today's conversation is definitely to get some insight into your background as a photographer, how you've grown, and really give anybody out there who's interested in pursuing a career in photography some advice so that they'll be able to build a photography empire like you have. And I saw this guy's camera bag earlier today. It was pretty impressive looking. So I'm sure everyone is going to be interested to hear how you've built a career in photography. The first question, I guess, would be just tell us a bit about your background. Like, how did you get into photography?
Sure. Actually, it's kind of funny. My beginning of my photography career actually started with film.
Okay, cool.
And that's because I was a massive film nerd. I think you and me kind of resonate. We love film. And so, I would skip homework and just kind of watch film. And I fell in love with it. And I knew I wanted to be in that industry, something there. There's something about it. And so I graduated high school and then went into a program called Media Fundamentals over at Sheridan.
Okay, right on.
It's a one-year program, and just a bunch of different courses, teaches you some of the tools and stuff, but also goes over a lot of the different responsibilities, different jobs, different places that you could go. And from there are different branch-off programs that you can do.
Nice.
And so it wasn't until the second semester where there was a course on photography where I was like, man, I love this. Like I think it was the impact that photography can have on a micro and macro level, right? Like massive images like the falling man and how that can resonate with like a city, a country, a world, or globe.
Yeah.
To just scrolling through an Instagram feed and seeing an image that maybe resonates with you more than it resonated with the last guy, just because of your upbringing and what your nostalgic thoughts are.
Yeah, for me, when I started to get into doing a bit of videos and photography and stuff myself, I was really amazed that you can kind of create a whole world with photography that almost didn't exist there before. There's the thing in reality, which is this room right now. But once we have captured it through these cameras, and once I apply some filters and some color grading and stuff like that, I really will have created something entirely different. So yeah, man, I'm really glad to have you here. I'm really glad to have you telling everybody about photography. Now that we know a little bit about what first attracted you to photography, let's get into some tips here a little bit. So what are some of the tools that you've used, like some programs or software, things like that you've used in photography that has been really useful for you?
Yeah, I think from an editing side, I think a lot of people are familiar with Photoshop, Lightroom.
Yeah, Lightroom's great.
And honestly, from an editing standpoint, that's pretty much what I've used.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, I create video content as well. So I'll use Premiere. I used to use Sony Vegas as well.
Okay, cool.
All good pieces of software, but I've tried to stay within the Adobe realm for now.
For sure.
You probably know it's so convenient to stay within one ecosystem.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, it does get. So Adobe, you guys got my money for now. Until you sponsor this, Adobe, if you want to sponsor it. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, those are all good ones. Definitely pretty standard ones. I think that A lot of people don't know about Lightroom though. So a lot of people know about like Photoshop and Premiere, but when you actually start getting into like the nitty gritty of like photography editing, and when you want to like change your black levels and stuff like that, my friend Alexia actually turned me on to Lightroom. So definitely check out Lightroom.
Another positive of Lightroom is just batch editing.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you drop your whole set of photos into this thing, and if all the lighting is fairly similar,
that's right.
Then you can just edit one photo and then apply that to the whole set, and then obviously go through it a little bit, adjust some shadows and highlights. But
this guy's teaching me, I didn't even know that. That's crazy, man. So there's those tools. And what are some of the tactics that you've used? So that could be like going to networking events, or how have you like gotten clients? How have you kept your clients? How have you like had them returning to you for more gigs and stuff like that? Really building up the clientele.
I see that as two answers, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
this podcast is a democracy.
So part one is how I get the clients. And so I think the most effective thing for me, I know we're in a social media age. Yeah. So social media, you got to be on there, you got to exist on there and have a presence. Word of mouth has still been the best thing for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's, some of that is tied with online, right? With Facebook, I've had a few communities that I've created over the time, right? One, Dead of Night Society, it's a photography community. And a lot of us got really close, and actually a lot of the gigs that I get even till today, it's just somebody from the community being like, I can't do this gig.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'm already booked.
I'm already booked. Another aspect of word of mouth is, of course, the clients that you shoot with giving recommendations, right? I've had a lot of that, friends. And so on the social media side, Instagram honestly has been probably the most effective tool.
Yeah, for photographers, Instagram tends to be pretty good. You've done some YouTube stuff as well. Yeah.
I've done some YouTube stuff as well, yeah. YouTube hasn't necessarily done a lot for generating clients for me, but what it's done so far is helped me develop more of a personal brand. Have
you taken your YouTube videos and embedded them on your website with descriptions?
I put the videos on the site.
Okay, that's all right. That's a good first step. The next thing to do would be create a transcript of that and then add that underneath your videos. It's really going to give you like a huge SEO boost. It's one of like the biggest things that you can do with video. So that might help you a little bit more. But definitely.
We're going to talk after this for sure.
Yeah, you and I are going to have a talk after this. But all of those social media routes tend to be a good way of like putting your work out there, having people see you. So that's all very, very good. And then getting involved with like other people in the industry. This is something that like me and Jamie talked about a lot, was like how there used to be this idea of like, oh, this is my competitor, I'm not going to work with them. And as you were just saying, like people come up to you and be like, oh, I can't do this gig, I'm booked, so can you please do it? And like that wouldn't happen if you weren't like constantly networking and reaching out to other people in your field. So the second part of that question, that covers kind of how you get the clients, how do you keep the clients?
Right. And I think it's something that I mean, even one of your previous podcasts, you kind of mentioned a little bit as well. I talk about this in my videos, and that's just showing up and being your best person, best self on set. People really attach themselves to the human aspect of a photographer.
For sure.
That's what keeps them booking you again. I think, especially with me, I do lifestyle photography.
Yeah, thanks.
And so with that, you often work with brands. And so there's already an in on that with how when they have a guy, they kind of want to just keep using that guy.
Right.
And especially if you can be a really personable, good person. Obviously deliver some decent photos as well.
Deliver good photos. Yeah.
But if you're just a good person to be around, you bring this energy with you. You bring the most creative self as well.
Nice.
Don't be afraid to kind of be a bit crazy and try new things. And
don't be afraid for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what keeps the bookings coming in.
I've actually, I'll you didn't say the words, but you've said them before, is create an experience.
Create an experience.
Yeah. See, I listen when this guy talks.
That's I don't even listen when he talks.
You're like, I forgot I said that. But that can be a big part of it, is creating that experience. That's why people want to come back to you. Like you were saying, the photos are good, but let's be honest, there's a lot of good photographers in this city. Yeah. So if your only thing that you're delivering is good photos, if you're just a good photographer, it might not be enough. You need to have a good personality. You need to be likable. You need to be fun, and especially if like someone's going to refer you, right? Like you might be the best photographer in the world, but if you're a super big weirdo, people aren't going to be sending you that referral, you know, and aren't going to, for someone that, you know, they've built trust with. They're not going to send that to someone that they think is weird. So
and a weird not being like your personality is like stupid. It's like you're being rude. You show up like smug, or you show up with like just a really poor like, you know, in a poor mind state. For
sure, being like cranky or being nervous or being ungrateful, any of those type of things. You definitely want to be like energetic. You want to be, you know, excited and things like that. Personable. Absolutely. Okay, so those are all some really great tips. That would be like how you get the clients, how you keep the clients, everything that you should do when you're trying to build a career in photography. I think people can implement that. The flip side of that is, of course, what's some stuff that you should avoid when you're trying to get into photography?
That's a good one. Avoid when getting into photography.
You phrase it another mistake, or another way. What are all the mistakes that you've made, Michael?
Oh man, I've made so many mistakes. I think the biggest thing, and I don't know if this directly answers the question, but it's shoot what you love. I think that's the biggest thing, because there's longevity in that.
So the opposite is don't shoot what you don't love.
I kind of used this example in the past, but just because Joe down the street has a successful corporate portrait business doesn't mean you should do it. I mean, I think if you're in it purely for the money anyways, I don't think it's you know, you have to really enjoy it. Again, longevity there, you'll want to do it for you know, the remainder of your life or for a long extended period of time. And I think the biggest mistake people do is that, you know, portraits are sexy, so they just do portraits, or landscapes are all that's around, so they shoot just landscapes. But what got you into photography to begin with? What got you so amped to get out that night, that morning to shoot? And just try doing something with that. Other mistakes, I'm gonna say, from more of a client perspective, is really understand what your client wants up front. And I think a good way to do that, and this is a little tip, is even if you think you know exactly what they want, ask for a mood board. Ask for some sort of direction through various types of media. It could be audio, it could be written, it could be whatever. Just something that gives you that vibe, that understanding. Because that's a mistake I've made so many times in the past. That's something I've had to do definitely with graphic design. That comes up a lot, is you might create something that's amazing, and to you it's great, but to them they don't like it. They don't think it's right for their brand, right? Like whatever you've created. So you really have to get a sense of their personal taste, what they want with their brand. Like it could be something that you shot that one client would be like, this is amazing, this is the perfect thing, and it might be totally wrong for somebody else. So that's some very, very good advice. The other question that I have is another pretty heavy one. So Michael, what is the most valuable thing that you offer to the world as a creator? I think, like everyone, it's just your vision, your unique vision. I think everyone... These guys right here, Unfortunately, like, you know, we have to wear these to help us see a little bit better, but... I kind of think with photographers who wear glasses, like we're already looking through the world through lenses, so it's just natural to put. And if I could replace them with like some more wide angle suckers, then, you know. I'll tell you what, if somebody comes out with some like lens, some glasses, zoom eyes, I'm in. We're in. But I derailed this there big time. The most valuable thing that you offer the world as a creator. Again, it's vision. I touched on it a little bit earlier, but everyone has a different idea of what nostalgia looks like to them, and everyone's had different upbringings, and so because of that, you have a different look and view on the world, on different emotions, on different things, and so I think it's important to share that. And I don't think that's just a photographer thing. I think that's a writer, that's a painter, that's whatever creative you are. Just share your vision with the world, your unique vision. That's true, and that's something that like is going to definitely distinguish you as well. Like if you're just constantly chasing trends and you're just going for like what's popular at the time, like maybe you'll have a couple of years of a good run, right? But you're not going to have like a real career unless you're doing something that you truly love and something that is unique, right? And the way to do that is have that unique vision. So those are really
great answers for sure. The next question that I have for you, what do you do when you run out of ideas, out of creative inspiration?
We're in such an amazing era right now.
And people always just say like take a break, so we need like some specifics here. What are some specific things that we can do?
For sure. Like we're so blessed because we can open up Apple Music and listen to a playlist that we created for moody vibes, or we can go onto Pinterest and search a keyword, go on Instagram, go on YouTube, watch content of creators that create something very specific to maybe what you're doing, right? Just a rut or whatever. There's so many different forms of media that we can consume to get us thinking in the mind state we need to be in order to create.
Yeah, nice. So tap into all of those other creators out there, really bring in like the community aspect of it again, I guess, right? Like whether it's creators that you know personally or just that you like watching and you just like their work, like go and absorb some of it. Is that kind of it?
That's it. You answered it way better and
nice.
More condensed.
More condensed. That's what I really do here on the show, guys. I just take what the guests say and I condense it.
He summarizes.
That's my entire role. So hopefully I'm good at it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, man. All right, I got 2 more questions for you.
Beautiful.
And then we'll let you get out of here and get out shooting photos out in the world. So the first one that I think will be really useful to my listeners, what is something about the industry of photography that you would consider like a secret?
Again, another secret, I guess, is showing up and being your best self. I think a lot of people are weighing in a little heavy on the social media, and that's great. But once you get that gig, what are you doing to stay on that person's
right, or that tendency to like fake it till you make it type of thing, right?
Oh God, I hate that expression so much.
But that can definitely be out there. Like things are so competitive that you might get the sense that like the only way to survive in this ecosystem is to like try to like pretend or project that you're like a more experienced photographer than you really are. I think that people are gonna like clue onto that pretty quickly, right? It's much better to just be authentic. So
I think from a social media standpoint, it's not that easy to distinguish, right? Because it's all surface level. Once you walk through those doors and you do your first gig, it's pretty easy to distinguish that.
Absolutely. The last question here is definitely for those up and coming creators out there. I'm sure, Michael, that you've been in a position where you were working a job that you weren't happy with, or you've just always been living the dream.
Always perfection. Never call me. My number is no.
It's been pure perfection.
So I guess moments where I've made mistakes.
Just moments where you were working a job that you didn't like.
Working a job in general?
Yeah, not photography. Just
not photography.
Before you became a photographer.
Oh man.
A lot of those, right?
I'll tell you what. Every job that I've worked, small and even till now, there's value in it.
Nice.
But of course, working at Walmart 9 to 5,
for example,
hauling milk skids, wasn't ideal.
Yeah, right? Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I worked for Walmart for 4 years. Yeah. I managed the dairy and bakery department.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, big deal.
You should hire this guy.
Guys.
That's it.
But it kind of drains your. Here's the thing: it drains you a little bit, but it also pushes you. Because the more you hate what you're doing 9 to 5, the more you want to do anything else outside of it.
That's very true.
Right? And of course, even within those hours, there's things that you're going to learn. Right? I remember I actually work, so I do photography and I also work full-time managing marketing for this small automotive company. I got them actually through doing gigs for them initially.
Nice.
And after a while, they're like, hey, we'll teach you some more of the marketing aspect of things, the softwares, campaigns, stuff like that. It's still an ongoing process. But you understand what we want visually and how you want. So we bring you on. But when I went in for that interview, I really thought it was some of my previous sales experience and maybe some of my photography experience I was going to speak to for a lot of those answers. Yeah. I can't count the amount of times I referred to Walmart. Yeah. And just there's so many learnings there. And you just, no matter where you're working, no matter what you're doing, try to stay present and like recognize that there are things that you're doing right now
That's cool, man.
That's gonna be key learning for you down the line.
Yeah, and definitely, like, if you're in that situation where, like, you're working a job and you're not happy with it and you feel dissatisfied, like, the way that you put that, I love that, because you were like, that's actually a good thing, because that's gonna be the thing that, like, triggers you to go to the next level. Like, if you're pushing around those skids at Walmart and you can't stop thinking about, like, oh man, if I could just get, like, my photography career, and if I did this type of lighting, like, wouldn't that be cool? And you're like, I know as creatives, like, your brain is constantly working, and for you to have that feeling of dissatisfaction is such a gift, because if you didn't have that, then you would just stay at that job, right? So that's why I love that answer, man. That's perfect. And I think that that's a perfect note to end this episode on. What's this thing saying, like 30 minutes or something like that?
It is saying, I don't know where to read it.
Top
21
minutes. Oh man.
Minutes.
Well, we packed it into a tight conversation here full of value. So I love it. Coming in at 20 minutes, another episode of the Creator Series for you guys. If you have any questions for me about business, or any questions for Michael, he uses YouTube a lot too. So if you guys leave those ones down in the comments, I bet that he will get to them. Maybe. He's probably busy. So
I'll peek in.
Thank you again so much, Michael. This has been an amazing conversation, very valuable to me as someone who is developing my skills in photography, and hopefully valuable to anybody else out there who is looking to break in. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Galaxy Design channel, and tune in next week. We're going to have another episode of the Creator Series with another exciting guest. I'll see you guys later.